G'day folks, Ben from Snowy's. Today, this is the Companion 45 litre Transit Fridge Freezer. This is a really affordable option for people who might be looking to step up from an ice box to keep their food and drinks cold when they're out camping. We'll cover off on some of the specs first. Weighs about 16 kilos. Handles are fixed and it measures about 69 centimeters from the end of the handle to the end of the handle here. You can't take them off. Width-wise, about 34 centimeters or just over 34 centimeters this way and about 45 centimeters from top to bottom here. The exterior is made of a polypropylene, so it's a durable, nice tough exterior here. The handles, all of this componentry you can see around here, the handles and everything, they're all polypropylene. This is a metal handle or an aluminium handle on this end and the same at the other end here. And there are sort of little plastic bump stops on the corners here as well. So it's made fairly durable. A bit of a tour on the outside, starting on this side here, nothing much to see there. There is a vent here which covers up the compressor. On the back, we've got the 12 and 24 volt input there. We'll go into a bit more detail on that one shortly. We'll flick right around to the other side. Nothing to see there again, except for the vent for the compressor, and then the business end at the front here, the handle, control panel at the front, and the handle to lift open the lid. We'll go into more of that shortly, but we'll just go to the back and talk about power source and compressor first. So inside here is an LG dual speed compressor. Now, that's not a compressor that we've heard of as much in some of the fridges or high-end fridges, such as Seacop, Danfoss, or the Sauer Fujimoto, but it is a reputable brand, so you're going to see a good life out of this fridge here. And it's a reasonably good current draw as well. I think I say about 1 amp per hour, but that obviously depends on a lot of different factors. Now you get a few different cables with this, or 2 different cables. You get a 12 volt cable here so you can plug it into your cigarette socket, and all the cables plug into the same port here. You can change this from cigarette to merit. If you take that end off there, you can get a smaller merit plug there. And you also get a 240 volt transformer here. So if we plug the 240 volt plug here into the transformer here, and then this can plug into the back of the unit here. Now there is a notch, so we need to make sure we put it in the right way. That plugs in there. I'm going to plug the other end into 240 volt and we'll see the control panel light up at the end here. Now this control panel will go back to the last setting you had it on. So this was on the last time I plugged it in, so I switched on. If I had this switched off when I unplugged it, it would come on as being off, and I would need to press this button here to turn it on and off. So I press that, switches off, flick it again, switches back on. Now there's a few things going on here. Firstly, this is a battery indicator on the side here, which is showing an indication of the actual voltage at the input or the spot where the cable is going into the unit. Being plugged into 240 volt, that's indicating that we've got at least 12.5 volts at that spot there. If we were running it off of a portable battery, this may drop down as the battery gets flat, and I think the bottom level there shows about 9.6 volts, which indicates that your battery is probably flat. So moving to the top of the display here, this 24 here, the large figures, shows the temperature inside the cabinet at the moment. Below that, it says 14.2 at the moment. That shows the voltage at the input, so it's the transformer puts about up to about 14.5 volts. If I was to use it, I just tried a 12 volt power source, it showed 12.8, so that shows the actual voltage going into the unit. To the right of that is a degrees Celsius, which shows 24 degrees Celsius obviously, but below that is an H, M and L, which shows the battery protection level. And then at the very bottom, we've got max and eco, which shows the compressor speed. Now to change those, it all happens through this settings button here. So if I press that once, max flashes, I can press it again, it goes to eco, so that's now dropping the compressor speed down to eco. Use the max setting to bring the temperature down. Once the temperature's down, switch over to eco. Now if we hold down on the settings button, it will then change to the battery protection level. So hold down this for about 3 seconds. That's now flashing the H. Press it again, it goes to L, M, and then back up to H again. Now your instruction manual shows what voltages these cut in and out at, so it's there to help protect your battery, and that's now set. Now on the other side of this panel here, you've got up and down. Now this controls the actual temperature of the set the temperature inside the cabinet. Now this can go up to about 20 degrees or down to about -18. So just go up and down, it changes and it'll flash. While it's flashing, that's showing the set temperature, and it flicks back to the actual temperature inside once we've finished pressing the button. It's pretty much all the how-tos of the control panel. We'll have a bit of a look inside. So back to the top, we've got 4 little sort of cup holders or supports here. They're really there just to stop your drink from sliding off, I suppose. Use them if you like. Plastic handle on the front there, the latches on here. Now the lid just hinges one way. It can't be reversed. It just hinges to the rear here. The hinge, the lid can't be removed either. It's actually hinged on there. This looks like I can't see what it is, but it looks like a pin through the back here to hold that on place, and a little retaining sort of strip here, a little metal retaining strip to stop the lid from going back too far. In the lid is a foam strip that runs all the way around here, and that lines up against this little ridge that runs around the top of the fridge here. Got about 3.5 centimeters of insulation here, PU foam insulation. And then we have a look inside the fridge where there's 2 compartments, one that's actually got refrigeration components, the other one's more of a cool box. Looking at the total dimensions in here of each of these, you're looking at 32 centimeters from this edge here to this edge here for the main compartment, and about 26 centimeters wide, and it's about 37 centimeters from the base here to the top. So we can fit upright bottles inside this. That's just a champagne bottle and a 1.25 litre soft drink bottle, so they do fit upright in there. So I reckon you'd probably fit about 6 1.25 litre soft drink bottles in the back there. Now that main compartment is lined with an aluminium and there's cooling elements around it, but this little compartment at the back here is just a dairy compartment. It's really cooled from the cold air that comes from this main compartment over the back, and I can feel it's kind of cool against this wall here, so good for butters and cheeses. But this measures about 16 centimeters in depth this way, 26 centimeters across that way as well, and it's about 20 centimeters from here up to this edge here. So you can actually fit longer things in the fridge if you like across the top here. It's about 50 centimeters from end to end, so you can fit longer things, but you've only got sort of 4 or 5 centimeters of height there to do that with, and the fridge just dips down the lid dips down a little bit into this space. While we're at the back here, we do have an LED light there, and there is a removable basket in here. So the dimensions I gave you for this front portion here, you do need to remove a little bit for this basket. That's going to sort of protect the sides of the fridge and stop things from freezing against the edge if it's a freezer. If you have a look in the bottom here, they have sort of got some little indents here, which I guess allow you to sit a bottle in it. If you have got a slightly taller bottle, it'll sit in there, but I'm not sure how useful they are. And once you put an actual basket in there, those little ridges don't become so useful anymore anyway, but hey, maybe it'll catch some water in there and make it easier to clean it out. It's pretty much all the features of the 45 litre Transit fridge from Companion. Just a little bit on features you can get, or additions you can get for it. There's not much available. It doesn't have any nutserts in the bottom here, so you can't physically mount it to a fridge slide, and there are no readily available fridge slides specifically for this fridge. So you'd have to find another 45 roughly litre fridge slide and rely on these handles and some straps to sort of secure it down to the slide or to mounting points in the back of the vehicle if that's what you want to do. But otherwise it is reasonably lightweight, only 16 kilos as I mentioned, to pull it in and out of the fridge. You can get a cover to go with it. This is an optional accessory. If you add this to the fridge, it's designed to make it easy to use still. So you've got openings at each end here for the handles to go through, so you can still access the control panel here. And then on the side, you've got a couple of little storage pockets. That's just on one side, doesn't feature on the other side. So you can keep a little bit organized. That's going to offer a little bit more protection and also help a little bit with the efficiency of your Transit fridge. One other thing to mention is that it's not designed to be mounted in a weather exposed area. So it should go inside a vehicle or inside a caravan where it's not going to be exposed to rain and dust and that sort of thing. It's supposed to be in an undercover area. That's all the features of the Companion 45 litre Transit fridge. You can check these out online at snowies.com.au, where you'll find them at our lowest prices every day. But if you've got any questions, let us know down in the comments below. Subscribe to our channel for all of our latest information, or check out some other Companion products like these ones down here.